Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Ellie.
And I'm Martin.
And today we are in a fairly windy Gloucestershire.
But it's not raining.
Not raining, no. And we are at Slimbridge Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust. There might be some wildflowers too, you never know.
Certainly is. There's a wild pigeon.
There's a
just
pigeon!
like us.
Come with us and we will show you this amazing place.
It is.
The Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust site here at Slimbridge is a charity dedicated to the conservation of our wetlands species. It was set up in 1946 by Sir Peter Scott, who championed wildlife conservation and also set up the World Wildlife Fund. He recognised the potential of the site for the conservation, monitoring and studying of the migratory birds that flock here every winter. This site is a massive area covering approximately 325 hectares or 2,000 acres. It encompasses the grasslands of the shores of the Severn estuary and is a haven for wildlife.
Wait a minute, there's something for everybody.
Do you ever have the feeling you're being followed?
Oh, yeah.
The reserve provides shelter and food for migratory swans, geese and ducks in the winter, as well as being an ideal breeding ground for waders in the summer months. In the winter, it is home to around 35,000 wildfowl. Slimbridge has international protection status. It is a site of specific scientific interest, a Ramsar site, as well as being a recognised special protection area. It is a great place to see rare birds and other protected species from all over the world. It is home to the world's largest collection of wildfowl. There's a whole network of these walkways across all the ponds, and it's just brilliant because the birds follow you. Obviously you've got food so they know, but they're not daft, but it's just lovely. It's all beautiful greenery and shrubbery, and it's like it's natural, isn't it? It's exactly as they would be.
Yeah, it's great.
It's brilliant. It's lovely. This is a decoy net where they do still trap the birds, but not for killing them. They actually trap them to ring them and weigh them and make sure that their health is okay. You can actually join a tour of the museum, which is actually Scott's original house, as ably pointed out by my assistant here. It's well worth it. It takes about an hour. I walked into the kitchen and immediately thought of my grandmother's, didn't I?
Yes, it is.
It just immediately transports you back to the 1950s when it was built. You're not allowed to take photos inside there. It is included in the entry price, so it's technically free, but it's included. And it's brilliant. It's good to go and see it. It's well done. You can sit in his study where he did all his paintings and look out the windows and see what views he saw from the seat that he sat in, and it's just brilliant.
It really is interesting.
It's well worth going. It's well worth doing it.
Yeah.
The UK has some of the best wetland habitats in the world. This is because the Gulf Stream protects the UK from the most severe winter weather, meaning our climate is relatively warm. This is what attracts so many migratory birds to our shores. Many of Slimbridge's winter visitors, such as the Buick swans and Greenland white-fronted geese, have travelled over 4,000 kilometres from the Arctic tundra to get here. There are many educational huts and hides around the site where you can get hands-on experience of identifying and monitoring the birds and animals who visit here. There are also guided walks, trails and canoe safaris too. There is something for everyone, whatever age you are. You may also be able to spot one of the UK's rarest geese, the lesser white-fronted goose.
There's lots of school kids around, and they've set up little stations around where the staff can explain to you, or explain to the kids what's going on, what the ducks are. They can dig around in the ponds and find pond life and stuff like that, and I think it's amazing that that happens. It just teaches kids properly.
They learn so much more by coming to a place like this than what they could do in a classroom.
Yeah. It's just hands-on and it's brilliant, and they can talk to the people who look after all of these animals, and it's brilliant.
There are 6 species of flamingo here. The first to arrive were Chilean flamingos in the 1960s. These were closely followed by the greater and lesser flamingos, then the Caribbean, Andean and Jameses. Now, all 6 species of flamingo thrive here thanks to Peter's vision and desire to keep all the species alive. 60 years later, some of the most earliest arrivals can still be seen at Slimbridge. But they're not all pink. They are born grey and will progress to a pink or off-white colour as their feathers develop. Their colour depends on their diet. Flamingos naturally eat algae, brine, shrimp and fly larvae, which are full of carotenoids. And their bodies break these carotenoids down into pigments, which turn their feathers various shades of pink and orange. The word flamingo comes from the Spanish and Portuguese words for flame-coloured. Did you know one of the closest relatives to the flamingo is the pigeon?
All the benches that have been made for you to sit on have all got these little bug hotels in as well. So the bees and the bugs can still be living in a natural-ish habitat. I think that's brilliant. Conservation always on the mind.
Sir Peter Scott also brought the world's rarest goose back from the brink of extinction. In the 1950s, the nene, also known as the Hawaiian goose, was close to dying out, with only 30 known to still be alive. After learning of their loss of habitat to the introduction of predators, Peter stepped in and successfully launched a breeding programme, raising them in captivity and releasing them back into the wild. Their worldwide population is now around 3,000. His groundbreaking techniques are still applied to successful breeding programmes today.
Very difficult to spot because they're camouflaged with the stones, but there's a couple of nene just there in front of us.
What happens to be the red-breasted goose right at the front,
Yeah.
followed by the black-brant goose, and a bit further back from there is the lesser white-fronted goose.
Well done.
Close on my right is the Coscroba swan. The Coscroba swan happens to be the world's smallest swan.
Indeed.
Founder Sir Peter Scott called Slimbridge the avian Serengeti. But who was Sir Peter Scott? He was the son of the famous Antarctic explorer Robert Falcon Scott. He was also a pioneering wildlife conservationist and accomplished artist, an inventor, an Olympic sportsman, and a naval war hero. His godfather was J.M. Barrie, and the character that he created, Peter Pan, is who he was named after. J.M. Barrie's christening gift to Peter was life membership of the London Zoological Society. He won a bronze medal at the 1936 Olympic Games for sailing. He was also the British gliding champion in 1963 and a national championship standard ice skater. He was the co-founder and first chairman of the Worldwide Fund for Nature and designed their famous panda logo, as well as the Wildfowl and Wetland Trust's swan logo. He designed the trapeze that racing crews use to hang out from their sailing boats. He also designed the rocket net, which is used to catch birds. And he designed the camouflage used by British World War II naval warships, for which he received the CBE. He was an accomplished artist who secured his first art exhibition in London at the age of 24. He is best known for his painting Taking to Wing, from which over 350,000 prints have been made. He was a true visionary who recognised that television had the power to bring wildlife into people's homes. In 1953 he presented the BBC's first ever natural history programme live from his home here in Slimbridge. He became a popular television personality. Indeed, Sir David Attenborough cites Peter's pioneering TV career as his own inspiration, referring to him as his hero and the patron saint of conservation. His attitude to conservation was pioneering, and he worked hard to secure agreements for the international moratorium on whaling in 1982, signing the Antarctic Treaty. He started the Red Data List, which records and categorises the conservation status of all known species. It is still used today. In 1973 he became the first person to be knighted for services to conservation. A coral fish called Cirrilabrus scotorum was named after him and his wife in 1988. And he co-founded the Loch Ness Phenomena Investigation Bureau, which was set up to study the reported sightings of Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. Long before biodiversity and eco-friendliness became words, Peter was championing the delicate nature of our natural world and teaching us to look after it. The trust at Slimbridge was set up by Sir Peter Scott in 1946, who had the vision and the mission to create a world where healthy wetland nature thrives. It is known as the birthplace of modern conservation. Now there are 10 Wildfowl and Wetland Trust sites across the UK. Arundel, Caverloch, Castle Espy, Llanelly, London, Martinmere, Slimbridge, Steart Marshes, Washington and Welney. Why not go and visit one near you and discover these magical species for yourselves?
Well, I hope you've enjoyed your short walk around Slimbridge Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust. Isn't it pretty?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Or those flamingos. Who knew there were so many types? And ducks.
Ducks. And the flamingos are so pink.
Yeah, They usually are, love.
No, the first ones were quite wide.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected. Anyway, we haven't shown it you all because we genuinely don't have time to go around all of it. You need to come back for a second day.
We haven't done the reserve area,
No.
which is even a bigger area of land than this.
Yeah, we've just done the popular bits really.
Yeah.
But what an amazing place. Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely day out. Nice coffee shop too.
Nice coffee.
Yeah.
Might have another one before we go.
Yeah, and a cake.
Okay, and
We're always up for a cake.
Ellie is anyway.
Thanks ever so much for watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye bye.
Goodbye now.